Everyone, it's Lynn from Holistic Health and Wellness. Happy Wednesday. I'm popping in here today talking about when you're stressed and how actually being stressed can cause you to gain weight. And I'm going to do this as a two-part. I'll finish up Friday. So wouldn't it be easier if we craved a large veggie-filled salad instead of those sweet things or the carbs when we're stressed? But it seems to be just the opposite, right? So we tend to look for comfort in food, especially when we're stressed and we're anxious. Not only do our choices seem to change when we're stressed, but our bodies actually process food differently when we're under stress, which is really interesting. And this is called the fight or flight mode. So at that point, your hormones are naturally programmed to release chemicals just like adrenaline or cortisol, and that happens when you feel stressed. So elevated amounts of those hormones happening regularly in your body give you a feeling of hunger. They put you in this endless cycle of reaching for comfort foods and eating more than you wanted to eat. So we've all been there, I'm sure. I know I certainly have. So another thing that happens when we're really stressed is that it affects our metabolism. So our metabolism slows down because those stress hormones, when they're released regularly, it slows down the metabolism because stress messes with our brain's wiring. It's really interesting with different foods how the brain is always so effective. So because stress messes with our brain's wiring for rewards and our cortisol levels trick us into wanting more fat, more sugar, then we automatically head toward those comfort foods during those times of stress. So it's really interesting when you start documenting it. And I like to keep a food diary or something on my phone so that I see what I'm eating and what my emotional response is or how I'm feeling that day, because it definitely makes a difference with what I eat. And then as a result, when I eat something bad, how do I feel? It can really just map you away when you're keeping a food diary. It maps away to what your responses are to stress, to what your go-to foods are, and then how they end up making you feel. Because I actually did that myself on Sunday. I ate something I really shouldn't have eaten. And Monday morning, I woke up and I was so tired. And that's so unusual for me because usually with the way I eat, I am so energetic and I feel so good that it really doesn't happen to me anymore. But it did Monday morning. And I remember how bad it felt for me when I was always feeling that way. So as much as possible, when we're aware of how stress eating makes us feel and what causes us to stress eat, and when we realize all the components that are going on, then we're better able to say no to that and to stand strong and firm and reach for something else instead. So there are alternatives that you can use. Sometimes just eating a piece of fruit that's a little bit sweet can help with those sugar cravings. Always have something handy in your pantry so that it's your go-to thing as opposed to the thing that you go to because you're feeling stressed out. So my go-to is chocolate or something sweet. So I try to, I have some protein bars, some that I've just started eating. They're called Rewind by Gary Lee. And they're really good because there's not the added sugar, there's not all of the chemical processing, only 140 calories, but they have some that can really, hey, Susie. Susie's new here, so welcome. We're glad that you're here. I usually do my lives on Wednesdays and Fridays, so feel free to join us anytime. So if you can find a protein bar, the Rewind bars actually have one now that's a coconut chocolate. So if I'm feeling stressed and I'm feeling that I really need something sweet, that's now my go-to because it's a much healthier option. So be aware of your stress levels, be aware of how you can manage your stress. I will finish up the rest of this talking about stress and how stress can make you gain weight on Friday. Not exactly sure what time yet. I usually try around 3, but sometimes my schedule's kind of iffy. Actually, I'm teaching class at USF this week and I don't finish until 3, so it will be after that. So I will try as soon as I can to get back on here, finish this with you. If you have any questions, drop them below. And if you are a lady and you want to join my Facebook group, it is the energized.busy.woman. If you do a search, you'll see it, the Energized Healthy Woman with Lynn Wadsworth. And we have tips, recipes, a way to ask questions in a more private manner. I appreciate you being with me today. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks, Tiago. Thanks, Susie, for joining me. And I will talk to you Friday. Bye.